any contact.
The longest and the biggest. The most world champions. Contesting the most open Formula One season ever. After 16 rounds of wheel-to-wheel action, the road to the coveted title comes to India's both international circuit. The raging bull has overtaken the prancing horse for now. And if Sebastian Vettel can do an encore at the Indian Grand Prix, the title will be his for the taking. But Alonso will not give up so easily, as two of the youngest and brightest drivers vie to become the youngest 3 times world champion in Formula One history. And talking of history, how can we forget Michael Schumacher? The Formula One legend who has already started his farewell run. The Indian Grand Prix is here, and it will be fast and furious.
Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you. You're watching our special coverage of the Indian Grand Prix. I'm Gaurav Gala. I'm standing right here on the Budh International Circuit, the BIC. This is where some of the fastest men on 4 wheels are going to push the limits of human endurance to the limit. And of course, we've decided here on Headlines today to introduce you to all the drivers who are going to be part of this second Indian Grand Prix, the men who are going to provide all the thrills and the spills. The 2012 Formula One season has taken a very, very interesting turn indeed. A few races ago, it was the Spaniard Fernando Alonso who was in pole position as far as the driver's title was concerned. But now it's the defending champion Sebastian Vettel, whose pit garage I'm actually standing in front of, who's got a clear track in front of him. He's leading the Drivers' Championship, something he's very, very used to doing over the last few seasons. So we're going to take a very close look at his journey in Formula One.
Fast and furious, calm and calculated.
Sebastian Vettel will hold on.
The qualities that make Sebastian Vettel a force to reckon with.
And Sebastian Vettel,
The Red Bull driver has been dominating the world of Formula One in style.
Sebastian Vettel, he has done it in a race of tension on the pit wall.
Vettel began racing in kart series in 1995. At the age of 8, winning various titles such as the Junior Monaco Kart Cup in 2001. In 2003, he upgraded to open-wheel cars and won the 2004 German Formula BMW Championship with 18 victories from 20 races. In 2005, he featured in the Formula 3 Euro Series. He was placed 5th in the final standings with 64 points, winning the year's top rookie honours. In 2006, Vettel came to Formula One with BMW Sauber and then moved to Toro Rosso in 2007. In 2009, the German driver joined Red Bull, and from then, there was no looking back. Featuring in 97 races so far, Vettel has registered 25 wins with 43 podium finishes and has won 2 championship titles. And now the German driver is on a roll in the current season of Formula One to clinch his 3rd one. Vettel, who won the title in 2010 and 2011, has had 7 podium finishes this season. Starting the season with a 2nd place finish in the Australian GP, Vettel went on to win the Bahrain GP. Though he finished at the podium in Silverstone and Spa, the 25-year-old finally found his touch in Singapore, sealing first win after 10 races, one of his worst run in his illustrious career so far. But since then, the German driver has taken the season standings by a storm as he continued the momentum, scorching the Suzuka and Korean track in style. With back-to-back wins, Vettel has zoomed ahead of his arch-rival, Fernando Alonso, in the race for the Drivers' Championship. Vettel currently sits atop the driver's standing with the Ferrari driver on the second spot and only 6 points separating the two. With 4 races to go, the title contention is still very much open. Vettel would now be aiming for the number 1 spot in the Indian Grand Prix to widen the gap between him and Alonso and inch closer to his 3rd world title. Sports Bureau headlines today.
And giving Sebastian Vettel a run for his money is going to be Spanish 2-time former world champion Fernando Alonso. Now, Alonso might not have had the best of it at the Asian circuits. He hasn't done too well at the Asian circuits, but that is no reason to count him out here at the Indian Grand Prix. And the reason is simple. He's a 2-time former world champion. He's been there and done it, and he's one of the top drivers of a Formula One car.
Calm and cerebral, calculated and focused. Characteristics that have held Fernando Alonso in good state in the high-octane world of Formula One. The Spaniard arrived early, winning his first title way back as a 24-year-old. He followed that up with another triumph the very next year, and though he came close to adding another in the next few years, he was pipped to the post by someone or the other, most notably Sebastian Vettel. But the 2012 season has presented the Spaniard with an opportunity to fulfill his dream of a 3rd world title, from winning the Malaysian GP to finishing on the podium in Spain and Monaco, and then winning the European GP. Alonso came across as the man in form. The 31-year-old then finished 2nd at Spa, 1 at Hockenheim, and ensured podium finishes at Monza and Singapore. 8 podium finishes in any season would have made Alonso the ultimate favourite. But the Japanese Grand Prix this season changed the equation. With Alonso crashing out and rival Vettel scorching the Suzuka track, the Spaniard saw his championship lead cut down to just 4 points. The Spaniard lost his lead to Sebastian Vettel. But the battle is still not over. By getting on the podium in Korea, Alonso has ensured that he still stays in the hunt for the title. With just 4 races left, there is no margin for error, and Fernando will be focusing on bringing nothing less than his A game to the Indian Grand Prix. Sports Bureau headlines today.
Now, another favourite at the Indian Grand Prix is going to be Lewis Hamilton. You can never really count the feisty Briton out, can you? After all, he is a former world champion, but that's not all. He's aggressive, he's young, he's unpredictable, and he definitely knows how to burn the rubber on this very track.
Ferociously quick, unrelentingly aggressive. Meet Lewis Hamilton. The epitome of a modern racer who wants to win at all costs. Hamilton made his Formula One debut in 2007 and straightaway announced his arrival on motor racing's biggest stage by finishing 2nd in the Drivers' Championship, just 1 point behind eventual champion Kimi Raikkonen. The following year, the 23-year-old Hamilton drove his McLaren into the history books by winning the Drivers' Championship. Again, a solitary point deciding the World Championship, but this time in Hamilton's favour. Since then, the Brit has gone on to establish his credentials as one of the top drivers in the sport. 20 race wins, 48 podium finishes and 24 pole positions. Hamilton's pace has been the benchmark for a few seasons now. However, Hamilton has had his fair share of controversies as well. Often, it has been his unrealistic attacking instincts which have led him into trouble. Be it his ego war with his one-time teammate Fernando Alonso or his most recent run-ins with Felipe Massa. Hamilton has certainly kept the race stewards busy and F1 fans entertained. Hamilton is yet to add to his 2008 world title, and it seems he will have to wait for another season. He is one of the 3 drivers to win 3 races this season, but his inconsistencies see him at number 4 in the drivers' standings. But count on Hamilton to burn the rubber and push beyond the limits. He will leave for Mercedes after this season, and a final hurrah at McLaren will be a fitting end to a fruitful association. Sports Bureau headlines today.
Now the next driver we're going to profile on the show, well, he might not be in the running for the driver's title. His team might not be in the running for the constructor's title, but he's still a major show at a Grand Prix event. I'm talking about former world champion Jenson Button. And of course, as far as Jenson Button is concerned, he wants to ensure that he has a grandstand finish to the season.
Cool, calm and collected. Jenson Button is not quite one of the modern aggressive drivers. But make no mistake, he is mighty effective. Button was the youngest Briton F1 driver when he made his debut in the 2000 as a 20-year-old. But his beginning was humble and he changed teams frequently in pursuit of success. It took him 112 races before he won his first Grand Prix at Hungary for Honda. And then the floodgates opened. After finishing amongst the top regularly, Button took the wheels of the new team, the Brawn GP, and won his maiden Drivers' Championship in 2009. The win established Button's stature as the top driver, and he moved to McLaren Racing alongside former champion Lewis Hamilton, whom he beat in the 2011 season, finishing second behind the winner, Sebastian Vettel. Button started the 2012 season with a bang, winning the Australian Grand Prix, but then went off the boil. After a series of low finishes, Button yet again took the top spot in the Belgian Grand Prix. A title win this season is out of sight for this cheery driver, but that won't deter him from going full throttle in the remainder of the season. Watch out for this McLaren driver waiting to seize an opportunity. Sports Bureau headlines today.
Now, apart from the drivers we've told you about, there are others who are in the fray as well. There's the comeback man who's also known as the Iceman. I'm talking about Kimi Raikkonen. And then, of course, there are the 2 Sauber drivers, Kobayashi and Perez. And how can we forget India's very own Narain Karthikeyan? Let's take a look at some of the best of the rest.
He has been there and done that. Lotus's Kimi Raikkonen knows what it takes to win the title, as he did in 2007. In a fantastic comeback season, Raikkonen has made 6 podium finishes, amassing 167 points so far.
Kimi Raikkonen!
The Finnish driver currently holds the 3rd spot in the title race, ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Although the 2012 championship appears to be heading towards a straight head-to-head between Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso, Raikkonen will surely draw confidence from his heroics in 2007. The Finn back then staged a dramatic turnaround in his first season at Ferrari, winning the final 2 races to steal the title from the grasp of McLaren duo Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso. Sauber driver Sergio Perez and Kamui Kobayashi to have made waves this season, taking their team to the 6th spot with a total of 116 points so far. Perez has managed 3 podium finishes in this season, amassing 66 points, and Kobayashi has chipped in with 50 points, getting a solitary podium finish in Japan. Their performances have been patchy of late, but the 2 talented drivers can never be written off to script an upset. And any talk on the Indian F1 Grand Prix will be a bit incomplete without the mention of our lone Indian driver in the Formula One, Narain Karthikeyan. But the HRT driver has had a rather forgettable season so far. Karthikeyan has failed to master a single point till now, and the Indian F1 driver will surely be hoping to better his points tally in front of the home crowd. Sports Bureau, headlines today.